I'm fasting. All righty, folks. Matt Taylor in the house. Don't Quit, Persevere is in the house. A few others. I figured we'd do this one today. Why men and women cheat in relationships. Very, very simple. People ask me this a bunch of times. My perspective, my opinion. Having some coffee and some seltzer water. I'm on my 24-hour fast, 12 to 12. Whoever fasts understands that. But reality, why do men and women cheat? Aaron Dulon, all the way from Hawaii. I put the facts, don't care about your feelings, because we need to talk about the facts. Men cheat first and foremost. Now, I'm going to take out all the douchebag cheaters, the guys that, the percentage of guys that are just not good folks, right? They cheat because, they're just not good. And they're just not into relationships. They're liars. They're addicts, what have you. But the 99%, hey, Jay Lee, good to see you. The 99% of the guys that cheat, or the percentage of why, is because for men, they're not getting any tail at home. It's dried up. The well has dried up. The intimacy is no longer there. The appreciation is not there. That is why men seek alternatives, because he's not getting anything at home. He's not appreciated. There's no affection. Somebody in his work or that he's run into at the gym starts giving him affection. He feels the butterflies, and hence he goes off and cheats. Typically, a man does not leave his wife in the cheating scenario. It's constantly a mistress. Very, very, very few men will leave a relationship and marry the mistress. Number one, why would you marry a cheater? You're a cheater. She's a cheater. She'll cheat on you. The cycle goes. But that is the reason men cheat. Attention, affection, the need to have intimacy, the need to feel touched by a woman and to touch a woman. If the wife is not giving or participating in intimacy, or if the intimacy is dried up between the two, that is the reason, right? David Castro in the house, good to see you. Women cheat because of social media. They have lots of options. Very well. I'll jump into that in a second. The homie Brandon, good to see you, brother. I haven't seen you for a while. Hope all is well out on the East Coast. That is why men cheat. Men cheat because of those situations. No attention, no affection, no appreciation, no intimacy. It's dried up. Okay? 99% of guys, FJT is in the house. Good to see you, brother. That is it. And the other 1% to 2%, the real douchebag Jerks, stealers, idiots, just the dregs of society cheat just because that's what they do and they don't give a fuck. All right? We got that down why men cheat. So if a man is cheating on his wife, that's the reason. 99%. Now, why do women cheat? Women cheat because of the emotional piece. They're not, let's just say, you know what? Let's be devil's advocate. They're not getting attention from the man. I get it. Right? Let's see, let's shout out here. Aaron Dulon agreeing with that. Thank you, brother. The anti-grifter in the house. Good to see you. Cheating app Ashley Madison has 1 million downloads. There you go. I wonder how many is male and how many is female. If she cheats, she loses, Matt Danner says. Absolutely. How do I know? Well, in my marriage, I had an individual that cheated on me. Why did she cheat on me? Well, again, devil's advocate here. She probably didn't feel attention. I don't know. I gave her a lot. I always wanted to lay in the sack with her. I always, did certain things. She got bored. The bigger, better option. Another big reason that women cheat is because the man is sick. He is hurt. He is laid up in a bed with some ailment. Okay. Because in that regards, he's not a protector. He can't protect you if he's sick. So half of her biological programming is now thrown out the window. I know several friends when they were sick or hurt or had neck surgery, the wife was out cheating on them. And they made a shit ton of money. The other reason, the guy loses his job. He's unemployed. He cannot provide for her. Another reason they cheat. So you got those two biological programmed instances of he's sick or he can't provide. Either he can't protect or he can't provide, they cheat. Or she gets bored. Now, in the modern day, now we have thrown into the world, and it's been accelerated and exacerbated like nobody's business, the reality of the attention. There's so much attention. Why not? And the transparency of cheating. Why not? And the newness, again, falls into that bored category. They're bored with their boring guy. Boring. Shab in the house. Hi, Rad. I think karma is real in this cheating stuff. Good to have you. My ex-girlfriend cheated on me, and now she's dealing with multiple ugly guys that are low value. I increased my value, super good looking. She downgraded bad. I would agree with you 100%, Shab. And tell me where you're from. What goes around comes around, right? If you really know in your heart that you did everything you could, she went out and cheated, guess what? Her life's over. Anyone that cheats, once a cheater, always a cheater. John Boston's in the house. Hey, brother. My ex cheated too, but I cannot deal with her daddy issues. But I cannot deal with her daddy issues and need for attention. There you go. Now, most likely somebody did. Or she just moved her feelings to a new man or a new male perspective. Again, we've been through it. We know what it's like. MGTOW Cowboy from Chicago, good to have you in the house. Check out his channel. She is dependent on your income. If she cheats, kick her to the curb, the anti-grifter. Wise words, my friend, wise words. I got sick terribly, and my wife never once came to a doctor with me. No. Again, if you get sick, you have now removed half of her biological programming of why she gets with the provider in the first place. Sick, lose your job. That's basically also the death knell of a relationship. Women will generally cheat with the polar opposite of yourself, I think. Jay Lee says it correctly. I would agree. If you're a strong alpha man, she'll seek a beta. If you're a beta, she'll seek an alpha. Absolutely. Don't quit, persevere. Guy at work banged this married chick whose husband had a stroke and who was in his bedroom downstairs. Happens all the time. I went to a wedding reception to this gentleman, this boy that got married to a gal's daughter I knew. And I've known this daughter for a while. I just went free food. Why not, right? See if there's any ladies there. And the groom's father was sick, but he was somehow at the wedding reception in a wheelchair. And the wife, they're still married, living in the same house. Her boyfriend showed up. I thought to myself, at the wedding, you're bringing your boyfriend. I guess I supposedly it's an open marriage, but supposedly the guy's not down with it. But again, she is having an open relationship, and I guarantee that guy's not down with it because he's sick. I guarantee it's because he's sick. Scott in the house, facts, karma, keep long receipts. And don't ever forget, right, Scott? Where are you from? FJT, I asked one of my ex-girlfriends, why did you cheat on me when you told me I'm perfect and everything's perfect? She said she doesn't know. I would put that into the bored category, FJT, or the attention-seeking category from social media and the phone, which is it's a subset of the bored category. But now we have to make a brand new category called social media, or the anxious female syndrome. Now, 98% of women are not recommended. I'm giving them 1% to 2%. There are decent women. Rad, you got 300-pound woman on plenty of fat getting action on a slow Tuesday. And they're going to pass out Frisbees tomorrow. She wider than she tall. Social media gives women options for a lot of attention. The wrong kind of attention. You know, it's funny. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Aaron. If you think about it, a woman that leaves her relationship or her marriage to have an affair with someone, and typically women will leave and divorce the man they're cheating with. Happens all the time, but usually the man gets done with. The man that's cheating with the woman cheater will be tired of her within months. Every couple I know that got together, I know these neighbors behind me a few years ago when I lived at the marital house, they both cheated on their spouses and they married each other. Right? They found their soulmates through cheating. Yeah. Well, she eventually left him after 10 years for a doctor. And then she moved in with him. And like 3 months later, the doctor kicked her to the curb. You know, it's like, beat it. You know, he had enough of her crap. I mean, what kind of guy, the logical guy, again, facts over feelings, right? After 3 months, you already know what the peace leave's like. You already know what you're getting. Why would you divorce? Why would you get involved again in that situation? Don't make any sense. You got to be an ultra blue-pilled simp to marry a cheater. They evil, says Scott. I would agree. Women cheat with coworkers constantly. Yes, they do. Mine had an affair with a coworker. Her infidelity has proven to be the Achilles heel, and she has her own brand of romantic ideology. And you know what's You know what's funny? That romantic brand, Matt, will never, ever become the true vision in her mind. There's always going to be something off about it. And so she'll continue to look for more options. She's going to keep that fantasy in her mind, which is a fantasy unattainable. Yeah, she might get with an alpha that slaps her around a little, gives her some front door and back door and you name it, and she loves being treated like a rag doll. She's got those fantasies. But then what happens when they figure it, and it's happened like 6 or 7 times. Well, now boredom sets in. The dopamine wears off. I mean, yeah, it makes no sense. Right? Well said, Mr. Matt. Yep, work is a 304 playground for them. Ain't well said. You lose them the same way you get them. She's not yours. She's just your turn. Huh. Guys, never fall. First of all, never get with a married woman. If you can completely. And now, a married woman you might not know she is married. She might tell you she's not married. You don't know. But if you know she's married, stay away. Now, if there's a divorce in process, it's a different story. But I'm talking if she's married, living in the same house, there's a divorce that's not in process, stay away. Stay away. Don't be that guy. I've known 6-year-olds on TikTok and Instagram. They have no business on there. They need to just attend bingo instead. The anti-grifter. Laying it down to Chinatown. I would agree. They need to go to the spaghetti feed at the bingo lodge with cheap wine. She's never happy with just one man. Let's talk about that. She's never happy with just one man. Why would she be happy with you? 98% of women are not happy with one man. They crave attention. Attention is their currency. Attention is their dopamine. That's why anxiety is through the roof. That's why anxiety medications are being, distributed and prescribed left and right. You guys want to make some money, invest in anxiety medication companies, Xanax, anything to help with anxiety, because it's only going through the roof. They can't keep up with the amount of attention. The selfies, the Instagram, the whole everything. They just can't. And anxiety is going to go through the roof. The mental health, just in my healthcare business, the mental health industry is through the roof. If you can find something about mental health, and it starts literally, 5-year-olds are now in mental health therapy because of the addiction to the screen. Women, men, it is out of control. These mental health therapists are killing it. Yes, Matt, they want a man for emotional support. They want a Chad for sex. They want beta bucks for cash. Again, how can you be happy with that? It's very, very few women, 1% to 2%, that can stand by their man. And there's gals that are on this forum that have. I'm teaching my 17-year-old son MGTOW principles, CYATs. Good for you. He's had 3 serious girlfriends that broke it off for another dude. I told my son, for a pretty girl on social media, she's not yours. It's just your turn. Very well said, brother. And keep asking them. And, one of the ways I talk to my boys is I say, why do these women take so many pictures of themselves? Do they have low self-esteem? It makes them think. Why do they need so much attention? When I grew up, you gave attention when you saw them at school, or you saw them, at a game or what have you at the mall, but it's out of control. It's out of control. Don't quit. I met a guy today. He said he was married 25 years. His wife's mother died and left her $500K. She wants him out of the house in a divorce. Ooh. See you later, Matt. There you go. Freddy Krueger and validation. Attention and validation. Well said, Freddy. Cheating is the direct result of a lack of moral grounding and a fractured lens of self, says Mr. T Talks. I would agree with that 100%. Somebody that might, you know what? You know who cheats? I have family members that have cheated. My own sister had an affair. Multiple affairs with little kids. I know what cheating does, and still she is not married. 12 years later. Good to have you, T-Talks. Women get bored. It's inevitable, Mr. Carl. Thus, she's not yours. It's just your turn. The person who cares the least is the one most in power. I would agree. That's what I tell the guys that email me and say, I really want this girl. What do I do? Nothing. Say nothing. Do nothing. Give her power. You are under her control. Men believe a sexual partner will be a good wife, Ubermensch says. Basing a relationship on sexual performance is a effing dumb decision. That's funny. You're 100% right, man. Post-nut clarity is what Greg Adams talks about. Why do women in a committed relationship give choosing signals to other men? Attention, narcissism, validation. It all fits into that category called boredom and attention. We should actually make a new category called 304, which comprises of attention and validation, boredom, anxiety. It should be called 304. Provisioning, protecting, and 304. Black Pill Neo in the house. Good to see you, brother. Validation. We're talking validation. FJT. Even if she's in the process of a divorce, I still recommend you stay away. I almost got into a fight with a in the process divorced husband. Yeah, you might be. You know what, FJT, you might be right. You might be right. I'm thinking more if they're like in the separation stages. They're 2 different houses. They're basically waiting for the judge to sign it. But I think you're right. Just stay the fuck away. And guys, if you're cheating with a married woman, that's a dangerous situation. That guy can flip his switch. Cesar in the house, all the way from Venice, like Chris Brown said, these hoes ain't loyal. And like NWA said, I ain't the one. And like Snoop Dogg said, she's earning, learning, and burning her man. Yeah. Hello from Houston. When I was a first-year associate at law firm 20 years ago, they had me file a paternity suit on behalf of a hot legal secretary. Wrong guy. DNA test was positive. Big drama. They don't change. JC66. Good to have you, brother. Change. And that was 20 years ago. Some hairy Italian guys in the house. Good to see you. Yes, my sister. Multiple. Even had the hidden cell phone because he found out. He was willing to work it out with her, but he found out later that he gave her a pass for the first guy because I think it was inattentive to her and didn't really, Again, this is a long time ago, right? But no dice. Jim King, I usually dump them after 5 or 6 weeks. This dramatically cuts down the cheating window. In and out is not a bad strategy, my friend. And that is that would apply to all ladies, or for the 98% of them. Carl, my own mom showed why hypergamy is not just prevalent with the younger women. Again, these are gals in your own families. My mother-in-law, we caught her cheating. It was an emotional cheating affair 15 years ago. She was emailing her Mexican tour guide named, what the hell was his name? We made fun of him. It's like Arturo or somebody like that. And she was in her 60s. 304, the highway with no exit. Jay Lee laying it down in Chinatown. I love that. You don't know who the husband is connected to. Correct, brother. Redmine Man in the house. Check his channel out, guys. Good to see you, brother. He's putting out some good content. Solid stuff. A married man in his 50s told me it took a long time to train his wife. She gives him her check and he gives her spending money. He said their relationship has been rocky, but they stayed together. She obviously got the memo at one point that she should stand by her man. That memo is long gone to like the early days of Moses now, right? Friend at work started banging a new employee, and 2 months later, she claimed she was prego, ragu style. What she didn't know is that he was fixed. So glad I didn't tap that, or I'd be paying for 18 years. The stories we hear, guys. See, yeah. If my ex was cheating on me during the divorce and I knew who the guy was, I would drag him in the case and go after him with a civil. You do that to win your divorce case. There you go, brother. Ha! Pablo. I think his name was Arturo or Armando or something. And yes, he was 68 years old sending these. Someone found the email and like blasted it to the kids of the family. And it was funny. I want to take a shower with you in a Mexican garden and drink and sip wine afterward. Just really cheeseball. Meanwhile, her husband is in a wheelchair at an assisted living center due to his MS. Again, why do women cheat? Provisioning is gone. Protection is gone in the form of illness or wimpiness. Another piece of the pie is when a man becomes a wimp or needy, that goes against his protective mentality. He is no longer a strong alpha male who doesn't give a fuck, and he's now letting his feelings run the show. It's all about feelings. Now, we've seen what feelings have done in the last 70 years. It has emasculated men. It has turned men into women and women into men, and it's now accepted. It is no longer a mental illness. So feelings are the cause of the destruction of society, if you think about it, especially on the man front. A man that is now in touch with his feelings is the destruction of society. Think about it. Back in before the 1930s, 1940s, and way the hell back, men talked with men, worked with their fathers in the fields, learned to keep their feelings at bay, didn't cry, didn't show weakness. It's a completely different story now. Feelings are the issue of why and how have we become feeling men? Because we've been taught by women in Sunday school. We've been taught, our mothers raised us because our fathers went to an office building. This is all, you can read about it in No More Mr. Nice Guy by Robert Glover. But that is the reality. Men in tune with their feelings which has created blue pill simping. Think about it. There was no simping before the 1920s or 30s. You know, there was courting, but there was no simping. Men were strong workers. There was no electricity to do any of this shit. You had to be strong. You had to have muscle. There were very few weak men back then compared to today. Go talk to any divorce attorney. Alienation of affection is rarely used because it's often thrown out. It's a feeling. I once met a redhead that said she was going through a divorce, so I blew her back out on the first night. Later, I found out she was never getting divorced. Never believe what they say, says FJT. FJT's got some experience for being a young man. That's for dang sure. Check his channel out as well. Why they cheat? Because there are no consequences most of the time for a myriad of reasons. Myriad of reasons for 300 Trebek. We are at fault for no consequences. We must commit to a one-chance policy. One time, she's out, regardless. 100%. If she cheats, you're done. You're done. Well said, Redmine. Stay off the dating app. Studies have been shown women go on online to get ego boost and to feel attractive. They're not on there to find love. Yes, you are right, Freddie. Pablo, the Puerto Rican pool cleaner. He was the tour guide. The best way to keep her from cheating is don't get into a marriage or LTR with her. We can't control her free will. Her free will is out of control because she's been liberated. Liberated. Well said, Redmine. Why do men simp for women? They're human beings like the rest of us. Because that has been the narrative in television, movies, romantic comedies, books. And it's only when a book like 50 Shades of Grey comes out that completely disrupts the model about an alpha Chad that just basically bangs the hell out of this gal and creates this fantasy in all these women's minds about a strong man, this total alpha Chad, rich mofo that has everything in one package, which doesn't exist, by the way. That guy in that book, you guys should read the book or watch the movie or something. Just get an idea of what it is. It's basically a guy that basically takes this innocent gal and she's had, just nails the shit out of her and just teaches her the tricks and just basically has a heyday. And so that's what happens. The narrative. And then and that becomes a huge bestseller. That chick made a shit ton of money. So guess what? Wait another 10 years and somebody writes a book on this forum about the exact same story with different names. And you're going to make a shit ton of money. Because women say they want feeling nice guys, feeling guys. No, they want strong men. Sorry. She's flying by the seat of her pants, quite literally. A slave to instinct. When men lost rightful authorities, women lost restraint. Ooh, love it. I want to go back to that. When men lost authority, women lost restraint. Ooh, solid wisdom, Redmine. I would use it with a gal for child custody and expose the dude and then send the papers to his wife. I know there's a couple states where you can sue the cheater. I think North Carolina is one of them. How about men and women who break up but still live together, then start dating others? Yeah, because they can't afford the rent or able to take care of themselves without they need two incomes. Yeah, I've heard about that. That's weird too. Dang, urgency calls, but ain't no female. Gotta head out. Catch you later, brother. Still relationship free. Thanks, Rad. Best content found right here. Thanks for being here, my man. With kids, it may sway the judge a bit more, but from what I've been told, you got to have concrete proof. You know, I was told when I went to, when my first time I went to the attorney, he's like, you know, and we were going through it, he's like, she could have 100 boyfriend, doesn't matter. Court doesn't give a crap about that. Care about the assets and the kids. Thought playbook, monkey branch, because they claim their guy is abusive. Shack up with that new guy that makes bank and have a kid with the new guy to get child support. And monkey branch to the next highest bidder. Rinse and repeat, right? See at FJT. Unfortunately, many wives are getting passed around while their husbands say, not my girl. My wife would never do that to me. If these walls could talk. If these walls could talk. Carl, my attorney wanted me to get a private investigator. She told me that if there's another guy, you can blow up her arguments. I didn't bother. I didn't care. Yeah, you get to the point where you don't give a fuck anymore. They want Pablo Bad Boy Pool Cleaner. Yes, they do. No more Mr. Nice Guy. Yeah, it's a good book. You know, it goes back. Feelings have destroyed modern day relationships. And we got to take it on ourselves, guys. Men, I would say, contributed to it. We allowed the loss of restraint, as Redmine talks about. We allowed it. You know, back when the court system. Again, you know, we could say whatever we want about it, but that is the reality. Feelings have destroyed modern day relationships. The blue pill simping that causes women to toss men aside, which causes us to come to forums and to understand what the red pill is, all started by a feeling. Think about that. Crazy. That's my thought. Anyhow, you don't have to agree with me. In my opinion, she was just trying to extend her till for money. You were smart just to bounce. Get out. Dating apps always have the same girls on them for 3+ years. Yeah, I dialed one up a couple months ago, and I saw a girl that's been on 6 years. Listen, that gal is literally, you know, she's been riding the sea carousel that long. She's giving clinics. I mean, that's the reality. She's giving clinics. Hey, Rad, am I weird? Cheating on my husband is the last thing on my mind. Lisa Smith. All the way from Kansas City. No, because you value him. You value your relationship and you stand by, and you're the 1% to 2% of women that do that. That really can that have more logic in their brain than most. You look at the logical aspect of it, where most women don't run that way. They run off their emotions. Today, Coach Greg Adams has a diagram about all the different emotions men and women go through in one day. It's a hilarious diagram, but you have to check it out. But women are run by their emotions, first and foremost. So what she thought an hour ago, I've seen it up front. I remember I was hanging out with a gal, about 1.5 years ago. I was at her house. We were hanging out, we played some game. She made me, we were having some, and we had gone to dinner, came back, I'm hanging out. And she opens some wine up, and she was charming for the first 3 or 4 hours. And then she opens the wine up, and literally her mind, some memory pops up. She goes nuts. I'm like, this gal went crazy, and I was out. Beat it. I'm like, you are no. This is a. I laughed and never talked to her again. But again. You are one of the rare ones, Lisa Smith. Men did allow it. The loss of restraint and respect cannot sustain a healthy relationship. Carl, you damn right, brother. Check out Red Mind Man's channel. Very, very strategic nuggets of wisdom. And, you know, I love all these channels because it just gives us a just different perspectives, different story. We all have the same story, let's be real. But it just gives us different flavors of it, just different ways to think about it and different perspectives, which makes it all better. The guys that say, I don't watch any other channels, that's ridiculous. We learn from each other. I learn from you guys. I have my own thoughts, but I love having the dialogue back and forth. I had an email proof of an affair and used it with the gal. Didn't need all that craziness. You know, nowadays, John, it's all in the open. They don't care anymore. It's like so oh yeah, I'm cheating. You know why I'm cheating? Because I'm just bored. You didn't take care of me. You can never take care of her. The 98%, they're not able to take care of. You can't please them. The simping has overinflated the dating market. Yes, it has. 7 to 1, I hear, are 7 men to 1 women on the dating apps. Remember that Elvis was replaced by a personal trainer. Even the woman to the king wasn't faithful. You're absolutely right, Priscilla. Yeah, I'm a big Elvis fan. The king couldn't deal with it. He got cheated on. That's everywhere. Athletes, celebrities. I would be another poverty statistic if I were to go that route. No thanks. Well, number one, I respect the fact that you have a good marriage with your husband, and I completely encourage that. And number two, that's very rare in today's modern thinking because it's easy to just run by our emotions because he's controlling and abuse. Guys, relationships are tough. I don't care. Fathers to daughters, fathers to sons, siblings. Relationships take work on all sides, and let alone a marriage. So if you can make that work, hats off, Lisa. I'd love to meet this wonderful man you're married to. Even the king's wife. Damn right. My ex regrets everything that she did, but it's too late. It's sad that many women don't see 5 foot in front of them. Their windshield is full of emotions. They can't see past them. Imagine if a car imagine if their fuel was emotions. Let's just say the majority of women, they ran on their emotions. That was their fuel. It'd be like they couldn't even go in one direction because they'd be all over the place. Whereas the man runs off logic. The majority of men use logic as our fuel, and we can go from A to B. But you're right, we have different brains. Are we sure this isn't an elaborate pick-me scheme? No, Lisa's solid. Elvis couldn't shake his pelvis enough to please his wife. His money! The plane he bought Priscilla! No, was it Lisa Marie? That's the name of this plane. I mean, she had everything because I think back then, well, we don't know, but we could speculate that she didn't get enough attention. She was bored. He got fat. He was hitting the Quaaludes. And maybe she didn't feel protected. Who knows? But the reality is this. She had an affair. I hope that Lisa can educate other women, but I think we all know, and Lisa knows, that women won't listen until they're post-wild and can't find a man. And I don't think they'll listen then, Carl. I don't even think they'll listen then. Because it'll be like they still think they got it. Out of 100% of women that approach me in my life, I've gotten approached by 15% of single women and 85% married women. Why are most married women so easy, Rad? They're bored. And they see a youngster like you, the Chad Tyrone, and that's confident, and they want that because they're boring and controlling husbands. Just don't do it for them. They're dried out like the Sahara Desert. Dried out like the Sahara Desert for 400 Trebek. Most married men who are 40 plus wish they were single. Don't quit, persevere. I think that statistic is correct. Sunny Ho, hey Rad, what do you think of women with nose ring? It makes me want to puke. You know what makes me want to do? Cast my fishing cast my fishing pole and just like grab it by the hook and just reel it in and then drop it. Oh, I can't stand those. Oh, those nose rings. They're so gross, disgusting. Now I don't mind a little like ring. I don't care about a nose ring, but the bull ring, no way. I'm real, gentlemen. I've been a woman since birth, raised in reality by both parents. I'm married, and we have a good and bad days, but it's no reason to be a home wrecker. Again, falls into the 1% to 2% that I think are decent. Believe it or not, I have met some decent women out there. They're very, very rare. Very, very rare today. All a woman has to do is blame a man and cry and play the victim. My ex did that, and I was laughing when she did that in court. Her attorney was pissed and said something and I shook my head. Well, you went in with the same attitude I did, John, which was you don't get rewarded in divorce. And you win at all costs. They can't see past their emotion that they sabotage a good relationship before they realize it. And I think that's been proven. This is a male perspective talking about it, sure. In the end, if the man takes care of himself, builds himself up, he can have a great life without that woman. And typically the woman does not have a better life without the good man. It's been written of in articles. Women have talked about it, getting rid of good guys to go focus on their career, to go have relationships with, it's been documented in movies like Forrest Gump, when Jenny dumps Gump, right? This is not made up stuff. This is real. They do sabotage. Two of my former female colleagues, so I truly consider them to be decent women, both divorced their husbands of 20 years. Both didn't want to deal with taking care of them when they were older. Well, who wants to take care of an older, aging woman? It goes back and forth unless the woman takes care of herself. The woman's body is weaker than a man's body in terms of osteoporosis, skin, and so forth. They have more health issues. I'm in healthcare. I know. I've seen the studies. Women make up more of the majority of patients later in life. Between the ages of 50 and 80, I think it's a 65% female population in hospitals and clinics versus men. I think the man's body is a stronger body that can get through stuff. Now, if a woman takes care of herself, she beats that by exercising, by having a good, strong mental faculty, eating well, not being an alcoholic, and so forth. Even a woman that drinks, it's twice as hard on a woman's liver than a man's liver. I don't know why that is, but they've proven it. You're right, Carl. What if women get sick, though? They don't think about that. If their car's fuel is emotion, they'd only get 5 miles per meltdown. I love that. I love it. As Tom Likas would say. That's perfect. Good one, T-Talks. Red Mind Man, the quality, status, resources, power of the man are irrelevant. Emotion doesn't accurately gauge value. She will cheat on a billionaire with a janitor because it feels right in the moment. And that's what you have to break it all down to. How do they feel in this moment? Why did she cheat on you? Because that's how she felt in the moment. Or moments leading up to that moment. But the reality is this. The moment, remember, emotions trump morality. And I invented that phrase. Emotions trump all morality in a woman. Whereas a man will feel guilty. A woman doesn't feel a lot of guilt. No, because the emotions have already peppered that feeling, that thought that it's okay. And drenched it with olive oil and cheese and you name it. And now it's a palatable experience. It's not guilt. I had to bite my tongue to call them out on the double standard. Both are having fun on dating apps. I didn't want to tell them the reality they face. You will see them in 2 to 3 years. Number one, this is what's going to happen. They're going to get on the CC. They're going to get hit and quit multiple times because most guys, unless they're blue-pilled simps, are going to try and wife them up or be their girl, boyfriend, or whatever. And then they're going to realize there's no good guys and they left the best option they had. Again, slaps them right square between their nose and their eyes. Look at that dude in NYC married to Miss CT, is that Connecticut? And she was selling her peace sleeve on the side. Ugh. House in the Hamptons wasn't even good enough for that 304. You show that 304 the door. Jeez Louise. Quality, status, resource, and power only make it more likely you will be chosen to mate. But she's not yours. It's just your turn. Still applies. Welcome, wisdom of the red mind. You're right. You're right. You know, they talk about frame. Frame is only holding my bed, my mattress. And as who else said, Red Mind Man, or was it somebody else? It's holding the door that I will slam in your face when I kick you out. But you're right. It still applies. A conservative is a formal liberal who has been mugged by reality. I like how CJ says these 304s want to leave a marriage and end up right at the front of the line. Now with the girls from the junior college. It doesn't look good for gals to just leave their boring, controlling husband, only to find the reality that the cock carousel is real. The hit and quit market is alive and well. Relationships are very, very rare these days. And reality slaps them in the face, but it doesn't slap them fast enough because they blame the man for their lot in life, as they move forward and get older and older. No, I've seen it. They still blame the man, and so how do they cope? 3 cats, a box of Franzia wine, white Zinfandel, that crappy wine, Captain Crunch on the floor, her toes smelling like corn nuts, as Coach Greg Adams talks about, lots of papers all over, unopened mail, and they're on plenty of fish. That's how it happens. Marcus Frazier in the house, brother. Love listening to the stream. You really helped the workday move. Hope you're doing well. Are you working graveyard or are you just getting off? A friend from my family tried to hook me up with a gordita from my country. She has a 14-year-old kid. Had him when she was 15. Guess what? Ed, you know what? Stupidity does not discriminate. How about that? Stupidity does not discriminate. Triggering feminists is one of the highlights of life. Lots of Karens out there, Lisa. Lots of Karens. Feminism is just the next step women go to when they realize that they made a horrible decision dumping a guy, or not choosing a solid provider, or leaving him at certain points. And so that's just the next step in their misery. But they have to play the victim because remember, they're going to get a gold medal in the Victim Olympics. Because somebody will go, girl. You go, girl. Eat, pray, love. Rad, I don't understand the concept of hypergamy. When you see women with some low-value dudes and it says that hypergamy is when the women want the best man. I don't understand. I think there's hypergamy with boredom as well. Why do you see ugly dudes with hot chicks? Right? There's a hypergamy factor that really doesn't take into consideration looks. I think looks are important, but they're not the number one. As for us guys, looks are everything. I mean, if a guy gets with a gal because of her brain, he's an idiot. We first and foremost look at looks. We look at breasts, we look at necks, we look at pretty features, we look at ass, we look at legs, we look at hands, arms, you name it. And then we wonder what's under the clothes. That's how men think. And if anybody ever says men don't think like that, then that man is probably a transgender. That is how men think. Women are all about the emotion. So that man, who's not probably the best option, made her feel a certain way. There's an emotional, remember, women run on emotions. So if a man makes her feel something that no other man has made her feel, she will attach. How do I know this? Because my sister dated very solid athletes and attractive men, and she dated ugly dudes. I'd ask her, why are you getting with that guy? He makes me feel happy and special. He's ugly. Didn't matter. Rad, what my ex did to the kids and the hurt she caused them is horrific. I would agree. These women say they love their kids, but it's such a lie. They are selfish. Something happened in my situation today that I was uninformed of from my eldest. And It's horrific. The poison. I was going to do a stream about that today, but you know what? I just didn't want to bring up the negative aspects of Rad's life. But you are seeing, I have a daughter that's in her low 20s, early 20s, and doesn't share anything. I find out secondhand through her brother. So, yeah, I know exactly that feeling, John. I know exactly that feeling. I'm going to be honest, when I was in my 20s before Red Pill, a married woman sank her teeth in me and gave me all the usual stories. My Red Pill self thinks that married women are manipulative. They know the game. Guys, women are smart. I think women are smarter than men. The majority of men we're thinking with our lower extremity. Lower extremity for 300 Trebek. We think with our lower extremity. And we believe, men believe more. Men believe, until they get Red Pill, they believe that a woman loves them, that a woman's there and loyal. Now again, 98, I'm talking about the 98, I'm not talking about the Lisa Smiths or the Cessors. John Boston, should we say all women? There you go. Oh, wait, hold on, I missed something. Oh, no, I did. I went through that. Okay, good. When a woman tries to get the man she loves, get jealous, fake flirting just for feeling ignored. Don't she care what she's doing is ruining a good thing? Is it because she's decided to move on? Well, I think it just comes, Sonny, I think it comes down back to emotions. It comes back to emotions. Again, emotions, and also, okay, you have to understand one thing. Women's run by her emotions. Also, a woman's run by her biological programming, which is she seeks protection and provision. I know someone on this forum that was married to a man that was depressed. Couldn't get over his depression. That is a weak, again, and we would do the same thing. If your woman, okay, let's talk about male hypergamy. What if your woman ballooned up to 300 pounds, grew a beard, became disgusting? You wouldn't want that. So there is such thing as male hypergamy, in a way. Now, is that likely? Typically not. I see a lot of guys whose wives balloon like nobody's business, blew up like the Goodyear blimp. But there is something called male hypergamy as well. And we do seek fertile, and that's our biological program. We seek fertile, youthful women that have femininity and sexual appeal. That is our program. That will build a family with us. So when a woman completely goes against that and does the 180, we also seek alternatives. So we can't give ourselves a hook that, but that's more rare, I think, but I figured I'd bring that up. But Sonny Ho, emotions. I'm 42 now, and Red Pill wasn't in my radar back then. It only came to me about 5-6 years ago. She told me I don't talk about the past. I'm looking for someone to have a life with. Ha! She's trying to erase what she did. I said, nice to meet you, and erased her number. She became a born-again virgin. Born-again virgin for 300 Trebek. My ex-wife hit me in the face and quit me. Well, she earned and learned and burned her man, just like Snoop Dogg says, and nothing but a G thing. I was boring and controlling and stable and didn't give up all my authority. I said no too much. You sound like me. I was controlling and abusive. No, we just said no to the asinine decisions to go buy a $90,000 Land Rover when there were other things to spend $90,000 on. Such as, I don't know, a house that goes in value instead of depreciates. And Land Rovers are found on roadsides dead. Land Rovers are pretty cars to look at. They're beautiful inside, and I know a shit ton about cars. You never buy one because they depreciate like hell, and they have horrible reliability. But the people still love them because guess what? It's like a luxury status symbol. No thanks. There is the thing, emotions and logic. Women equals emotions. Red label 191. Good to have you. Men equals logic. Our society's built to get to your emotion. That's why most women can be controlled easier through emotion than most men. Why? If you listen to Tom Leykis, very well said, my brother. Tom Leykis talks about, and there's videos, treat her like crap, mentally and emotionally. And why do women stay around? Again, emotions. Makes no sense to guys, but that's how it works. Well said. A friend of mine caught his wife with a guy in his own bedroom having sex. Hammer down. I've heard about that so much. And I bet the woman got up and shamed his lower extremity when he saw her. Oh my gosh, if I would have walked in, I don't know what I would have done. That would probably, I might be in a concrete box at that point. I'd beat the shit out of him. But then that would be my rage. I don't want to beat them both up, but if the guy didn't know she was married, well, I guess if the guy's in the marital bed, he knows. But if if he was screwing her at his apartment or whatnot, it's not his fault. She could have lied to him, right? Feminine is just a way for ugly chicks to level the playing field. Lisa Smith, laying it down in Chinatown. Agree with that. Should I go back to a 43-year-old therapist mom who has 2 kids? No! She's hot as hell, but she believes in tarot cards and intuitive coaches. James, therapists are the worst gals to get with. Most women, most people go into therapy because they have to fix themselves. They want to fix themselves. No, find another 43-year-old that's not a therapist with no kids. And if you can go down to 30, easy. No. I mean, if anything, hit her once, or bang her once, and be done. Rad, any chance you're going to heat up some Dino chicken nuggets for a single mom and the Cesar Chavez? No, but guess what? I have all my nuggets are gone, but I have Chef Boyardee SpaghettiOs. You guys remember Chef Boyardee SpaghettiOs? My mom used to buy them when we grew up. We loved them. I still buy them for my son sometimes. 5 years from now, the dating market will be ground zero if it is not already. Game over, Mr. 81BG. Good to have you in the house. I think it's over now. I think dating is very, very, extremely difficult. Tell me where you're from. Sonny Ho, a FIFO raised her voice, yelled at higher up man at work. He lightly checked her, asked her to please keep the voice down. Later, she went and complained about him. How would you deal with this woman at work? Avoid her like the plague. And document. Have a video at all times. He should have recorded it. I'm focused on my purpose. Good for you. I did not ask for that. In a few months, I'll be out of this town by starting a new life somewhere else. Good for you, brother. Move forward, not backwards. Women have to be smarter because men are stronger. Would agree with that. That's a good statement. Thinking with our small head gets us in trouble. Hammer down. You're absolutely right, brother. Most prisoners are in prison because of a female. Believing her is usually just hope. Believing her is usually just hope. MGTOW Cowboy. JC66, that was good. Hit and quit. Chuck it, turn it and burn it, learn it and spurn it, bang it and slang it, boss it and toss it. Ooh, love it. Men get smarter as we get older and aren't as easily manipulated. Women get older and double down on their thinking when they're 20 years old. And then they wonder why we don't want them. They turn into feminists, as we have seen. And for what it's worth, I do not think for a minute women are smarter, but they are more manipulative. They're more clever. They're more clever. They know how to manipulate and push guys' buttons. They've been doing it since they were born. Never, ever underestimate the superpower of a woman. What is the superpower of a woman? Is it her charm? Is it her voice? Is it her looks? One of them. I don't think they're smarter, just more cunning and opportunistic, says T-Talk. Yes, following along the lines of clever. And they know how to manipulate. King Solomon had 100 wives and still couldn't make it work. FJT, laying out the Bible. He could not make it work. And he was a king. Brad, you have common sense. How dare you, Red Mind Man? You better not have common sense. See, I think the reality is this. If a man uses his normal head, it's very difficult for a woman to get to him. But if he's thinking with his lower head, she has all the power. That's where their superpower comes in. JC66, my ex thinks the word no is abusive. So did mine. In fact, she brought that up in paperwork. I'm abusive because I said, no, we're not spending $90,000 on a depreciating asset that is going to be worth nothing. Not getting my way is you are evil. There is such thing called financial abuse. Did you know that? Lawyers are now putting it in paperwork that says the man withheld money or did not spend money on certain things, and it's now called financial abuse. They're using that. What's going to be next? Social media abuse? Brad, speaking of Land Rovers, because a good close family my age had one. She was post-well, worth millions, but couldn't keep a man. We dated briefly, so I know why they bounced. She killed herself. Jeez. You bring that. That's a very interesting thing. Women do not leave this mortal coil by them. They do not delete themselves out of this life like men. And I don't know what the percentages is, but I think it's 80% men that delete themselves versus 20% women. So it's very rare that a woman will do that. The playing field isn't level. The ugly chicks are too big and beautiful. They will always outweigh us. Well said. There was a recent video on World Star Hip Hop. He walked in on his wife and her side dude and stabbed them. I think the only way you get out is if you live in France, and it's called, what is it called? Crime of passion? Like people that like kill their partner. It's like, what is the French rule? It's done under duress of love, crime of passion or something, and they let them off. Interesting. Richmond, Virginia. Okay, we got the homie. He's from Virginia, I believe, as well. And I think Batman is there as well. 43-year-old therapist woman who believes tarot cards sounds like a keeper. Stay away. Beautiful life coming at you from Laguna Beach. Good to see you. Brad, I know a guy who was out with married women and he didn't stop until he saw the family pics in the house, and it finally got to him. He said all the women were sluts and he was not the only one. But is there any surprise anymore? Cyberzoni's in the house. Good to see you, brother. What's the psychology between a woman who gets a nose ring? Attention. Atención, atención. Attention. Look at me. Look at me. It's the same reason fat women get tattoos and green hair. Nobody pays attention to them. What's the psychology? That's it. Attention is their currency. And you're going to see more feminists getting it because nobody pays attention to them. Okay, so therapists are crazy, says Hockey Pat. Yes. She screwed 18 guys in 2 years after her divorce. She was into polyamorous stuff, but now says she's all done with that. Do you think they're ever done? No. Never believe their words, only their actions. I guarantee she's still a veteran writer at the Cock Carousel Olympics. She will take home gold again. Cock Carousel Olympics for 300 Trebek. They want attention with tattoos. There are outside signs that she is a sleut. She is a 304 in plain sight. Her superpower is to seduce you with peace sleep and you say yes to anything. Superpower in the form of putane. You're right. He was in the Navy at the time, coming home early from a deployment. He divorced her. The military relationships, I hear, are the worst when it comes to cheating. My ex thought that if she divorced me, she would be a flirty 16-year-old. Oh my gosh, really? Guess what? She's in her mid-50s and tell me what is out there for her now. Nothing but cats and Francia White Zinfandel. Box wine for 300 Trebek. What do you do if you're red pill but still want to have kids? Ooh, Sean M., this has been brought up a lot. You know, people say go get a surrogate. That's fine and all because you can have control and everything. But guess what? What happens when your little feminist neighbor down the roads watches you raise your daughter and son from a surrogate, now thinks you're abusive. Who does she call? I mean, there's risk to rewards to all of that. So surrogate, I know Coach Greg Adams talks about that. I think it's difficult. I would say go be a really great uncle. Somehow, be part of Big Brothers of America or something, Big Brothers or what have you. I just think it's dangerous. I just think, not dangerous, it's risky. I mean, it can be done. But yeah, I'm not a big advocate on surrogacy. That woman can also decide to keep the baby. Who did the judges swing for? Come on. Right? I banged one like that in college. Many picture frames were set face down. When I looked at one of the frames, it was of a military guy. She said it was her fiance. No surprise. The ex-wife got a nose ring after we were married. I'll be honest, I didn't mind it much. She has borderline personality disorder, BPD. When she brought up tattoos, I said no. She flipped. Oh. Yep. In Britain, if you raise your voice or don't allow her to use your credit card, that's DV now. Ugh. Coercive control. Yeah, I know it's financial abuse in the States, social media abuse. Well, pretty soon, if you don't give them attention, that's going to be considered DV. Actually, it is. I remember we went to a counselor, and she said the cold shoulder is considered DV, domestic V, in the United States. So if you give your lady the cold shoulder, or you don't look at her or roll your eyes, that's considered domestic V. Ridiculous. Mysterio's in the house all the way from Canada. Good to see you, brother. Figured you'd jump on. Bolo, no is not a negative word. No saved my life. Good for you, man. No is my favorite word of all. And women love to hear the word no. Is getting tattoos about... Bolo, where are you from? Is getting tattoos about attention, or does a needle in your skin an escape from some other pain in life? Bingo. Bingo, 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 bingo. Why would you put on a tattoo of a dolphin on your calf, knowing that that's going to age like hell? And you could put a picture of a dolphin on your phone or in your house. I think very few women that get tattoos, unless they're placed in places that you can't see them, but again, there's something about it. I have heard that women use the needle to erase the pain. But you're right. Rad, I met 2 women in the past couple weeks, and both were bus drivers. I said, $40K, state assistance, looking for a retirement package. One wanted to live in one of my apartments. Divorce is a retirement package. Oh, geez. I respectfully disagree with Brad here. Surrogacy from a foreign country like Russia or Thailand. Okay, there you go. I think in the United States, it is very, very risky. Still. I think a lot of men will have to leave America because these women will get desperate for a bobblehead slave. It may not be enough to live red pill, especially if Kamala Harris is president. Ask Lisa Smith what she thinks about Kamala Harris being president. But the woman with the nose ring and tattoo, it's like an introvert. Introverts can be sluts. Any woman can be a slut at any given time. Tats are not attractive, honestly. T-Tox L-Bag. I'm not a big fan of tattoos on ladies. Now, that's just my reality, and people that know me know me. I know people, and now my daughter has 9 tattoos, guys, in weird places. I know people who have kids but never married. That is what I would do if I was going to have kids. The losses are limited that way. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. Unless you live in a... they're going to get you somehow, right? They're going to get you on a common law marriage or something. I know in Canada, you're just considered married if you live with each other. I mean, they're changing the laws to favor every committed relationship is a marriage. So be careful. Most males 20 to 30 are vulnerable towards women. Yes, men want to sleep with women. That is our biology. And that makes us vulnerable. And if a woman doesn't sleep with us in the 20s and 30s, our ego takes a hit. There's a lot of things that fall in that age range, Mysterio. Glad you brought that up. Bo Lowe is in Canada. Bo, tell us about the Canadian laws of marriage. I think Mysterio brought it up too. He's in Canada, mentioned that I think if you just live with each other, the courts are favoring that it's marriage. I also want children. It's a tough reality for us guys who want a traditional family. Look at the world, though. I brought one child into this world and worry a lot about his future. Guys, I have older kids. And, I think to myself, would I do it over again? I wouldn't do it over again. And there's ways, you could go surrogacy, you could talk about different ways, don't get married. I just think it's risky, man. The man doesn't have a lot of options, even when it comes to raising his own child. It only takes one phone call from a pesky neighbor that doesn't like you to get you in trouble. Women in the chat, do girls turn out like their mother who's a narcissist? Yes. A man, because mine did. A man that has low friends is in a bad situation. Man needs friends. A man shares his feelings or how he's feeling with men. He does not share them with women. A man can understand a man. And most women can't understand men. The surrogate mom thing doesn't seem like a good option. As bad as women are these days, kids are better off with a mom in their life. I would agree. Kids do better with a mom and a dad. They've proven it. So going the surrogacy route, I think they have a better life with a father raising two kids than, because I got a buddy that raised, basically the wife left when they were a year. So they basically raised the two kids. She disappeared. They never saw her again. She checked out. And he raised his daughters. But, they could have also used a mother. I'm sure they're going to have issues, but he did a good job considering the situation. Young men, that's why I fought for 50-50 custody, because I thought my boys and my daughter needed a father and a mother 50% of the time. It's amazing why women do not want men and fathers in their life. And I know why, because they want to continue to jab and twist that knife into them and hurt them. There's horrific women out there. I'm going to tell you that. There's horrific guys. Young men 20 to 30 are most vulnerable. I remember being like 22 and literally couldn't contain myself around beautiful women. And that's really what's happened. If you think about it, in the last 50, 60 years, men just don't know how to act. We were taught how to act, back in the 20s and 30s and before that. Then men learned how to act around women because other men taught them. Their fathers, their uncles, right? Do you have Sonic fast food in Utah? We do. And they have tater tots. I love tater tots. I don't have anything nice to say about Headboard Harris. She's a disgrace to our gender. Atta girl. Lisa Smith, not a fan of the libs. Liberals are feelings. Conservatives are facts. Pick your side. We know where feelings end up. We know what happens to a society that runs on feelings. Lisa Smith, good to hear that. Listen, what do we say about Kamala? She spent most of her time horizontal and went vertical to go vertical. But if you're red pill, how was it you couldn't raise your daughter to not get tattoos, for her to grow up right? Well, her mother, she basically stayed with her mother, and her mother, well, that's happened. You can't do anything when they're 18, number one, and her mother raised her to be a feminist liberal. There you go. I tried everything to stop him. I told him how I felt, and what are you going to do? What are you going to do? All I can do is be a strong father figure, and hopefully she sees that value, but I doubt it. One pesky neighbor, You got it. Hammer down. One pesky neighbor. Thanks for clarification on the therapist thing. She screwed with my head and left me a day before a Mexico trip. I think I remember you telling me that. I don't take a lot of trips, and this stung, but it showed me how selfish she could be. Did you pay for the trip too? Hopefully you probably couldn't get her plane ticket back. In Britain, they want to grant women marital rights even if they aren't married or living together. They call it living together apart. They'll get you some way, guys. And her one kid had ODD, which is asshole syndrome. Yeah, you don't want that shit. You left. Young boy Jason in the house. Rebel Crew Gangsta. Love it. Brad, yes, look at red flag laws. Men have already died from getting gunned down during no-knock warrants at 2 a.m. All it takes is disgruntled female in-law who doesn't like your pew collection. I would agree. I love your collabs. Great content. Thanks, Mysterio. Always a pleasure to have everyone, especially you, in here. It's tough on men here. Love is a hell of a drug. Love is a drug. It's a chemical concoction. Mysterio said there's another chemical in it besides dopamine, serotonin, and oxytocin. What is the other chemical, Mysterio? Do you have Taco John restaurants in your state? I don't believe so. But we have Moe's. We have Chipotle. And what's the other one? Qdoba. Why have the libs dominated politically over republics in America? Very good question. Very good question. I think people just get weak. I think the programming is so deep now. It's embedded in television and movies and books and just the general thinking. Social media is full of liberals. What's right is now wrong. What's wrong is now right. You know, if you're a traditionalist like Lisa Smith, you're now frowned upon by everybody else. If you're a traditional conservative man, again, strong men create and make, weak men take. Right? Rick Lou in the house. Thanks, everybody. Thank you for being here, brother. Appreciate that. Britain might as well stop random guys on the street and fine them on behalf of some random girl who needs money. I heard in England, where's our English folk, that you can't even look or, say hello or whatever. Hey, give a little wink wink to a gal, or you can get fined or something like that. It's easy to blame the dad when a high school girl walks around looking like a prostitute, but there's not much a dad can do. Dude, I remember, you're absolutely right, Sean. I remember when my daughter was wearing a halter top at age 15. And she got my sister's endowments, I'll say it like that, and I told her to put on a shirt because I didn't like it around my 9-year-old at the time. And I thought it was immodest. And she threw a fit, and her mom finally gave in. Even the mom wouldn't tell her to cover up. You don't have a lot of power, guys. And if you now try to exercise your power, guess what? It's called child isuba. Isuba spelled backwards. I'm telling you, they'll get you for everything. Spike is in the house. Good to see you, brother. We could call them love fines. Oh, they're going to get, again, they're literally pushing men to not even talk to them, to disregard them with all these asinine laws. Makeup is diabolical. These 304s are selling illusion. That's what it is. I like the natural beauty look. Very, very little makeup. Very, very little makeup. Just me. But makeup is diabolical. It's gross. All the shit they put on their face now. Do you see lots of polygamy there? I've seen it. There's about half a mile away. There's a 2 polygamous family. The guy's got like 12 wives. They're normal. They don't, they work a normal job and the kids go to normal school, but they're polygamous. Nobody cares. But you know what? Who cares? That guy's lucky. He's got 10 gals a month. He doesn't have to take care of the kids because all the sister wives do. Men pay for hookers, so after sex they can go away, also known as no problems. I don't think the Mustang ranches are a bad business model. They give a good product. You can pick the product that you want, be satisfied. The woman is satisfied. She gets the money and the attention, and everybody leaves happy. Dating a broke woman is more dangerous than dating a broke man. Tee-hee. Well, a man doesn't need much. Man doesn't need much. You can live in your car. You can live in a tent. Absolutely right, brother. In this world, emotion supports women, children, and pets. In a PC world, a man is marginalized relic that is expected to shut up and listen. He's supposed to be a Homer Simpson. Is there any question why we have Homer Simpsons? Why we have the goofy Peter Sellers? Now, is it Peter? Is it Peter on the Family Guy? Why there's such wimpiness? Why men look like 2x4s now? A man that's strong with muscles is basically looked as an enemy now, if you think about it. Right? It's the world we live in. Strength no longer is valued in men. Strength is no longer valued in men. A strong man is considered the enemy. Guys, this country, whoever believes this philosophy, and we're seeing it now around the world, strength is now becoming the enemy, if it isn't already. It's ridiculous. Vaxrad, why women can't take rejection? Well, I think that's programming. They're all princesses, most of them, 98% of them are princesses. So when they get rejected, they seek if a woman is rejected by a man, she'll seek him. Now she has to chase. She enjoys that. A man that worships a woman, she's bored. Give no attention, they seek it, regardless if it's rejection or not. Resabite is in the house. Good to see you, brother. Who would ever think that we live in a time that it's cool to be gay or trans? Go figure. Guys, I grew up playing a game. It was called Smear the Queer at recess in 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th grade. Smear the Queer. What's right is wrong. What's wrong is right. It's ridiculous. Cheating is good now. Oh, it's so fine to cheat. Why? I felt in this emotion. I felt that I was emotionally okay to cheat. But they don't call it cheating. What do they call it? Experiencing life. Rip Dusty Hill. I heard that. I'm so bummed. ZZ Top, great band. They started in mid-60s. Because they were a different name by then, and they changed it to, I think 67 is when they started. Those guys have been around for a long time. I remember my last semester at university, one girl in class said she wanted to be a stay-at-home mother, and everyone laughed at her. That is the best thing a woman can do, is to extend our posterity. And that's why we're here. That's why we don't hate women. We understand women. We understand female nature. We understand how our brains are different, and we try to navigate life by understanding that. We need women in life, but women seem to not want to have babies anymore and be mothers. This is the downfall of society. Look at the Islam religion. Look at how many kids they are having. And in the West, what are we having? 2.2. In China, 1 kid. Japan, the very little. The birth rate is declining. Big time. 12 wives he's got. Men have no par. JC66, like it. Can you imagine asking 10 times with 10 different wives and getting 10 headache? That would give me a headache. I just think he gets in and gets out. I think that what he probably just spends a night every 3 days. Every 10 days he's with the same woman. And it's a huge house. It's like a big rectangle. It's a big goddamn rectangle. And it looks weird. It looks like a hotel. I'll have to take a picture of it and show it to you guys sometime. Man can't be broke. Man is programmed to produce. No two ways about it. When a man's broke, a woman leaves him. If a man loses everything, a woman leaves him. It's happened to so many friends of mine. Really good friend of mine, developer worth 20, 30 million. The economy crashed. She monkey branch. And he's a big alpha MMA guy. Do you think the left will lead to a purge in America? I saw the purge forever. It was very concerning. Yeah. I don't hold it. I hope potentially. I think we're seeing, okay, this is what we're seeing. I'm now reading about the corona jab and how companies are now requiring it. Government is going, even the federal government is now requiring it for their workers. I think that might be the edge right there. I think people that don't want to take it, I think that might be a big catalyst for potential conflict. That's what I think. And I think they want to provoke it. Dressing for school like you're a 304 was not allowed in our house. I was the only girl of 3 kids. I was also firstborn, so my dad insisted I set the example. And you had strong parents. Did you have the Guess jeans with the zippers in the back on the calves? My sister did, and they wore Esprit, Guess, Jordache, Calvin Klein, Varney. Remember Varney? Genera for men. Remember Genera? Gerbots. Gerbots are really big in Utah. This country was founded by pirates, privateers, bandits, and swashbucklers. Now most men look like a fried egg in a chair, and they look like a 2x4 with makeup. 2x4 with makeup. Guys, what's right is now wrong. What's wrong is now right. Think about it. How can a society sustain itself? That's why we say be strong, fast, work out, work your brain, get out. Let the negativity go. There's nothing we can do for the past. We can't do anything from the monkey branchers, the women that cheated on us, or the men that have cheated on women in this form, if it's happened. Can't do anything. We just have to accept it and move forward. We are in control. We're the operant power of our universe. Simple as that. Women need to understand societal programming and stop with the beehive mindset. I don't think that's ever going to happen, but I love the comment, don't quit. That would be great. There's very few that don't follow the hive, but very, very, very few. Matus Bardelli, greetings from Poland. Good to have you. We've got some Polish guys in this chat every now and again. Tell me how and they've all said we all said Polish women are beautiful. What is the Polish woman like? Are they pleasable? My brother lives in Warsaw. I need to come out and visit Warsaw and visit my Polish fellow Red Pill brothers. Good to have you. I've been told that Warsaw is really cool to visit. Very beautiful. If they try a purge, it will fail. Too many poo-poos on the right. Well, you know what? The strong men. Could you imagine yourself ever going back prior red pill? Now, some do. Some return to the plantation thinking, you know what? I was mistaken. Nawalt, they play the song called Nawalt all day on their iTunes. Nawalt, you know that song? It's basically in most country music songs and rap songs and pop ballads. But anyhow, it's like finding out Santa Claus is your parents and then trying to sing as many Christmas songs and carols to go back to believing Santa Claus is real. No matter how many Christmas hymns and Christmas carols you sing, you still can't believe back that Santa Claus was a real person. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Buckle up, guys. Buckle up. What new music you rocking now, Rad? Well, I was listening to The Cure last night. It's not new. But what am I listening to? Michael Grant and the Assassins. I'm really into him. He was the guitarist for LA Guns. He's got a funky new, I think I brought that up. You have to check him out. Men cheat for variety, male nature, and lack of sex intimacy from his partner. Women cheat due to hypergamy and lack of emotions. Yep, I said that in the beginning, Park Ridge. You're spot on, brother. Men seek attention, affection, and intimacy when they don't get it at home. Women seek attention when the provision and protection is gone, whether you're sick or lost your money, whether you're weak and agreeable and nice, or they're bored. And now we have a fourth category called 304, which is attention, social media, anxiety, iPhone. You're well said, Park Ridge. When we see you mountain biking, where do you live, Brad? What city and state? I am in Utah, Salt Lake area. Went 13, did a 13-mile round trip. My brake froze coming down, my back brake. I didn't have my pliers to pull it out, so I had to get off every quarter mile and fix it. At least I only had 3 miles to go. By 30, a man should know who he is and how he is. If you cannot commit, just be a playboy. Be open about it, says Mysterio. I would agree. Has anyone brought up the new Netflix show Sex Life? Post-fall woman has perfect 666 husband cheats on him? No, but I want to check that out. That sounds very, very interesting. Women cheat because feelings. Men usually have something more tangible as a reason, like her withholding, disrespecting, shaming, respecting, shaming, both still wrong. There is nothing right about cheating. It is wrong. It is immoral. But you need a logical brain to understand that. Those jeans were too expensive, but I wore Lee and Levi's. I got one pair of Gloria Vanderbilt jeans 1 year for Christmas in my teens. No budget for fancy clothes with 3 kids. Those clothes were a lot more expensive back then. Yeah, I remember getting Levi's 501s. You have to wash them 3 times. They shrink to fit. Remember those? Or like cardboard when you brought them home. And we didn't have enough money to get the Izods, the Lacoste, the alligator polos, or like the Ralph Lauren polos. We got the cheetah ones from Mervyn's. Mervyn's turned into Kohl's. My parents did the best that they could. And, I'm glad that I was raised the way I was raised. Rad, any upcoming collabs? Oh, we were trying to do something with FJT and Batman and Chronicles of AJ, I think. But I'll let you know if something comes up. Red pill is male freedom. You're not a woman's agenda. Red pill is you are in the driver's seat. You're the decision maker. Well said, brother. Polish women are like a song by Lana Del Rey, Money, Power, Glory. See, guys, even in Europe, Mateus is saying, I hope I said that right, Mateus is talking, not even in Europe. And, when Sound Engineer gets on, he's in the Eastern Bloc, he talks about it too. Where are you going to go if there's the internet? Where's the unicorn? Where's the foundation? Where's the fountain of unicorns? I want to go there. Please, show me where these unicorns exist. Don't take the jab. No way, Jose. No way. Playing some ZZ Top, R.I.P. Yep, I played it earlier today. I'm going to play them all night too. When women say the word husband, they dry out like a Sahara desert. My wallet, my choice. Damn right, brother. Good to have you. Hey, Rad, why are most women use their phones so much? I see them on social TikTok. It's messed up. Attention, attention, attention. Attention for 300 Trebek. Do you guys from outside the U.S. know when I say that? It's Jeopardy, Alec Trebek, when he's like, whatever the category, for 300. And I say that because it's a Saturday Night Live skit with Will Ferrell. Look it up. I'll take 300 Trebek. So it's all attention, brother. It's all attention. That's her currency. Lisa Smith will protect all of us soy boys during the... I think Lisa Smith probably can shoot guns better than most of the guys on here. Keep spitting fire. I live in Vegas. And all that are available are desperate single mothers. They probably are veterans, retired from the CC, Former strippers, former casino workers, former showgirls. Keep her ammo stock. Trying to get ammo. Actually, a lot of 9mm ammo is all sold out, but for my 45s, I could still find it. Man, I went to Salt Lake and snowboarded there. Awesome mountains. Why so many liberals there, especially downtown? Liberals are in every huge big city because it's cool. It's cool to be a liberal. It's only cool to be a liberal when there's no war. Remember that. Benjamin Stark's in the house. Good to have you, brother. Thanks for all you do. Thanks for you being here. Benjamin Starks. Where's Benjamin from? I saw the Sex Life miniseries. It's a red pill series. I'll have to check that out. No vax for me? No vax for me. I don't think anyone on this forum will get it. She does not have your best interest at heart. 99.9% of the time, that is an alien concept. If 98% of women think of put another person first, if 1% of the 98% put another person in front of them or valued another person, we'd invent time travel. Red Mind Man laying it down in Chinatown. Red, have you ever seen the show Orange is the New Black? I've heard about it. All the girls' backstories show how it's men's fault. Jeez. Of course! Men don't have feelings. We do have feelings, but we don't share them with women. We share them with both guys. And guys can talk to other guys. Brains understand brains. Simple as that. Women should talk about their feelings with other women. Bolo, Trebek is Canadian. I did not know that. Alex Trebek. Watch the Saturday Night Live skit on YouTube for Jeopardy. That's not what your mother said last night, Trebek. It's really funny. When you bike, what clothing gear do you rock to wick away the sweat? I have some mountain bike shorts. I don't know what the name of them are. I typically use a t-shirt or I'll take my shirt off. I don't like that. I don't like those shirts that wick away the sweat. I don't think they work. At least they don't work for me. And I wear a bandana under my helmet. But I still sweat like a mofo. When women get caught cheating, they'll still never take accountability and blame their current partner. Ian Blaze. Again, why did you cheat? You made me cheat because you didn't pay attention. That's 100% correct, brother. It is possible to meet a modest, pretty introvert. Thanks to your message, I pay all my attention to it. Of course, knowing the risks. Thanks for your good job on YouTube. Best regards. Thanks for being here, brother. Stay safe. Can a woman take half your assets even in a no-fault divorce? Sure. I thought that was only in fault divorce. Nope. A divorce is just a settlement of a business bankruptcy. That's all it is. Your marriage was just a business agreement with the state. And the liquidation is now in play. So you could actually give more than 50% based on a judge, or if you had crappy representation. So be very, very careful. 22 LR ammo is scarce. Interesting. Interesting. You're from Chicago too. We got MGTOW Cowboy from Chicago. Got some folks in here. Couple guys. Skokie. I've been up to Skokie. That's a little further out. Hey, what is that one McDonald's or Burger King? It's over the highway. I remember going to the airport, driving my rental car. I saw this McDonald's. It's like over the highway. Like you drive under it. Thought it was kind of cool. Understanding women is crucial to a man living his best life, but boy, it can be depressing. Sure, because the dream is now destroyed when you wake up. But now the dream gets even better when you can understand that you are in control. That you can navigate a life knowing what's under the makeup. Knowing how their brains operate. This is not rocket science. Women are run by their biology and so are men. Their biology is who is a strong protector and who is a strong provider. If you do not fit those two, and then you have the boredom and other pieces, but we're talking biology. And the man seeks to extend his posterity through young, fertile, beautiful women. It's as simple as that. You go against those two, shit happens. No Fauci ouchie for me, says Lisa. I agree. I'm also from Chicago. You guys got to hang out, man. Everyone gives this stream a like, says Redmine. Appreciate it. Everyone check out MGTOW Cowboy, FJT's channel, Redmine Man. Plug your channels if you got one. Since you work in healthcare and with women, you don't fear that they see your channel. I mean, no, I don't fear that. What would happen? Who cares? In the end, if I lose my job on this or whatever, if someone doxes me, I'll go clean carpets. I'll go drive a bus. I'll go drive a truck. I'll buy and sell. I'm not scared of anything. You know, I give solid advice and experience based on my life to guys that need it, and I need it. What I do on this channel not only helps you, I think it helps me more because it gives me an outlet to discuss my thoughts and to hear the thoughts of others. And that's why I don't want a bazillion subscribers and all that crap. I like to have a nice boutique forum where we can exchange ideas. It's great. I really look forward to this. So no, if someone finds me, great. You know what I'd say? And I'd say, I hope you're getting great value from my content. But it's considered probably hate. There's only one gal that has found my channel. And she's an avid watcher. Brad, if it's okay for women to use SCX to get money, is it okay for men to use money to get sex? Why? That would be a double standard if it wasn't, right? Could you imagine if James Bond as Blue Pill, the series would not have lasted? That is a very, very good acknowledgement. Now we're seeing superheroes that are all women, and it's bombing at the box office. My state is no fault. She took half. I spent the other half defending my half. Oh, so true. Why can't divorces be fair? Due to the gynocracy within the legal and government systems. Hey, Rad, what is your take on Adele and her having to pay alimony? Good for her. Should go both ways. I bet that guy that he simped for, well, he was a simp, stayed at home, watched the kids while she was out making her money in Monkey Branch. I respect her as a singer. I think she has an amazing talent. But now she lost all that weight and divorced her husband. Go figure. But she should pay. If a woman, look, the laws, there should be no double standard. Women should pay alimony to the man if she makes more, and it's an alimony case. I don't believe, the only thing that I think alimony is fine for, if it's like a woman that's barefoot and pregnant, that has no degree, has 6 kids, and the guy leaves her or whatever. He should pay something to get her back on her feet. If she leaves him, I don't think she should get alimony. If a woman leaves a man, I don't think she should get alimony. If a man leaves a woman that makes money, should pay alimony. But again, if a man leaves a woman and leaves her barefoot and pregnant in the dust, I think you have to do something there. That's my own personal opinion. She didn't want the divorce. He left. He should at least get her back on her feet. She's got no skills except being a baby factory. And my sister would be one of them if that ever happened, but she loves her dude. Jake, dating a single mother, 2 kids, keeping her at an arm's distance. I know. Well, in and out, brother. You are last, just FYI. No matter what she says, you are last. Get what you can. MGTOW Cowboy, I'm from the South Side. Rad, did that McDonald's have a trapdoor drive-through window? If so, I'll visit. I'm imagining getting a burger at Haiti. I don't know. It was just over the highway. I just remember it. I've seen girls. I've been to Chicago a bunch of times, but I just remember driving that. I've seen girls in lots of countries in Europe. They're all the same, pretty much, acting the same with their magic device. Attention. I think that McDonald's was torn down. It was called the Oasis. Oh, okay. Yeah, you probably remember. Yeah, that was that thing that it was very interesting. It just stuck out to me. When you have When you have to go out of town for work, do you drive or do you rent? I rent. I usually fly, so I take a rental car. Men think logically, women think with feelings. Well said. And that's not hating. That women are more emotionally geared than men, and men are more logically geared. But there are some logical women, but they're very rare. If you're an accountant, you're logical. I think Lisa Smith is logical. I think Beautiful Life is logical. I think Marcella is logical. Sorry to hear that, brother, but thanks for the wisdom. I've also heard stories of courts ripping up prenup. Guys, there's no such thing as a prenup. Get that out of your goddamn thinking. A judge can completely throw that shit out. A judge can make your life, if you wear the wrong color of tie that he doesn't like, he can make your life horrible. Now, that doesn't happen. There are rare instances that it does. If he doesn't like the way you look, if you don't look like you're smiling and worshiping the court judge, he could throw shit out. Or she. Prenups do not last. But well said, Sean. Damaged women, tattoos, nose ring, BPD, manipulative, hurt other males. Know their damage. No, of course they don't. They're princesses. I love all your streams. It's chicken soup for the soul. Thanks, brother. I think this is number 67. Prenups only hold up if your judge likes your attorney and you're not a dirtbag. Yes, but you're always a dirtbag even if you're not, and your judge probably doesn't like your attorney enough. My attorney was a referral from a sitting judge. If I got some run-of-the-mill divorce lawyer, I don't think I would have fared very well. You're right, Redmine. I thought you worked in construction. Me? I don't work in construction. My father worked in construction, not me. We appreciate your perspective. If I ever go to Utah, I'll hit you up. Absolutely. I'll buy you a beer. South side, I'm from the north side, Pulaski and Addison. I don't know where that is, but it sounds pretty cool. I don't invest in any modern woman, financial, mental, or emotional. They do not have the same consequences for their bad behavior that our grandmothers had. That's a very good way to live. Dating a single mother. If you're dating a single mother, I hope it's for one reason and one reason only, and it better be short-lived. Lord Spawn is in the house. Good to see you, brother. When you meet a woman, she acts like a job interview. Later she acts like an employee. Yes, yes. Yes, yes. I would agree. I would very well say. Benjamin Starks, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Good for the gander for 300 Trebek. What do you rent when you go out for work? For cars? Whatever they give me. Typically a midsize. Hey, Rad, good to see you too. Teddy Boy Smith from England. Beautiful life. I beg to differ. I work with female accountants. They're not logical. Those are the only logical gals from a career standpoint that I've met. But maybe I found the only two that were logical that were accountants. I like the fact that you don't ask for donations. Keep up the good work. No, hell no. God damn it. There are some content creators where you can't even be responded to unless you give a huge super chat. Guys, I don't do this for money. And if you see ads on these channels of mine, I don't put them there. YouTube does. They came out and says that they can place ads without any monetary compensation. I don't need money. You know what I thought about the other day? I thought about making a Rebel Against Defeat hat, kind of like this one, black. It's a Yupong. This is a Yupong hat. They're nice. They don't fade in the sun. Look at my black hat. It's still there, right? A lot of black hats fade. And I thought about making a Rebel Against Defeat hat because I wanted one. I think that would be cool, a cool design. And I'd see if anybody else wanted them. I'd give you the link and you could buy it wholesale just because they're cool. They'd be cool. But no, I ain't making them. No. If I write a book, unless I write my Bigfoot book, if I write a book about red pill stuff, PDF it for free, man. Who cares? But I understand why guys write books and want to be compensated. I get it. I do this I really do this to help guys and help myself. Well, I do it to help myself first. So I guess I'm selfish in that regards. Keeps me in check, keeps me on my game, but I do this to help others. If I could only, all I cared about was having, like, when I first did this, if only like 50 to 100 people saw this message, I feel like I contributed to society. That's it. I get more out of this than you guys do. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Men all over the world are waking up to female nature. It knows no borders now, Matt Benjamin. Knows no borders. Rag, what's your biggest regret? Man, there's some days I wish I had a time machine to go back to 1996. I know that's not logically thinking. It's more of a I'm pissed off thinking. I don't know what my biggest regret is. I don't think I have any regrets. Maybe regret, kind of, responding to certain issues in my life that I could have responded better about, And I think as you get older, you begin to filter your logic, facts over feelings. You're not as responsive in ways that are, as you grow up. That's probably it. Responding more logically than emotionally, because we've all responded emotionally. So that's probably it. Anybody see that World War II footage of young women getting their heads shaved by their family for sleeping with the Germans? How times have changed. Ain't that the truth? I wonder what gender has presided over divorces more. Male. Male, my friend. Men everywhere are waking up to woman shit. Hammerhand showed this on his stream. It's becoming very, very well known, guys. However, the Blue Pill Army is alive and well and marching towards the plantation and trying to shame the red pillars. Brad, I don't get to watch live that often, but watch every stream uploaded. Thanks for everything. Well, I appreciate it. Hopefully you learn from everybody else as I do. I would buy that Rebel Against Defeat, man, because I love the message. I first put that on an iPod in 2007. You could customize your iPod, the silver or the back. In fact, my ex-wife had it done, and it was Rebel Against Defeat. I remember coming up with that a long time ago, and I always thought it, and it makes more sense now. It basically means, you get thrown down, you get back up. You're rebelling against being defeated. That's about it. Yes, I've seen such World War II footage. Women collaborators got head shaved, male were shot or hung. How times have changed, my gents. Spike doing the work. Thank you, brother, for being here. Rad, you've helped us all immensely. Women are basically tall, spoiled children. Seeing them that way, and it will protect your head, heart, and wallet. I just don't want to see any more friends or good men leave this earth because of something they didn't understand. And it takes guys that have gone through the experience to share it. All of you, myself, other guys, other content creators that have gone through it to help spread the message. We don't hate women. And, I have had so many women shame my channel. They'll come on and write some stupid comment. Again, their spaghetti brain on display, up front and personal for, I think my channel has almost 1 million views of all, which I never would have thought it. Shit, if I got 1,000 views. But they're putting their logic or their emotional response for the whole world to see, which only reinforces the message. I did a video on why you shouldn't date single mothers. Look it up. And I didn't say single mothers are horrible. I said, you shouldn't date a single mother if you want to be last. You shouldn't date a single mother if the kids come before you. Very, very well strategic, non-shaming It was what you will get if you date a single mother. Oh, these women react like nobody's business. Crazy. Thank you, Ian. A girl I worked with and very close was settling with cold on me. I backed off and got used to not being around her so much. Now she's all over and calling me. There you go. As I've always said, remove attention, receive attention. You never know, she'd be earning her man and learning her man and sometimes burning her man. Nothing but a G thing right there, Snoopy. Snoop Dogg. I'm creeping. I'm creeping and I'm creeping. It's a great song. I think Apostle Paul was the most red-pilled man in all aspect, and thus he warned and walked alone until he finished race. He was red-pilled. He told married men to stay married. He told single men not to get married. Corinthians. Can't go back to the past, but looking at my life, nothing can touch me. Attaboy, Mysterio. It's therapeutic to talk to like-minded guys. Yes, it is. And it helps others. Every story helps others. Simp Army. Hashtag Simp Army. I like this channel. It helps to remind me my parents raised us right and that being raised as I was has greatly benefited me. Well, we appreciate you being here, Lisa. How can you tell women are on their period? They get upset fast. What can we do as men? Nothing. Walk away. Say nothing. Be silent. Simple as that. Nothing. Period. I remember when my ex would get on a period, it was like the devil incarnate pulled a chair up to the table and never left. That Hammerhand location clip was super cool, taking the world by storm. I got to check that out. I keep my wedding ring as a reminder of my foolishness. Fasting 2 days a week and week 48. A week, 48 hours. 12, then 18 hours off. Good for you, brother. I'm going 24 today. I went 23 up till yesterday, and then I ate this morning. Kind of knocked it off, but I'm on 12 to 12 tomorrow, 24 straight. That's why I got my seltzer, and I got my coffee. Black coffee, nothing in it. Good for autophagy. Attaboy, Mysterio. What are your thoughts on Tom Leykis? Love Tom Leykis. Are you kidding me? Tom Leykis is original. And he's just laying it down for the majority of women, 98% of them. You know, he's helping his brothers. Patricia O'Neill, same thing. Check him out. I think nowadays, even if another brother was red-pilled and we met in public, we wouldn't know because everyone hides it in the gynocentric society. Sonny Ho, you might be right. Look for strong men. Most of them are red-pilled. Well, have the tendency to be red-pilled. Fasting is the key. Fasting, I've been doing it for 5 years, guy. And I think it keeps you young, keeps you healthy, keeps you clear. I wonder why Mike is married 4 times. He went through it on one of his videos. And you have to listen to it. I'll have to figure out which one that was. Would love a stream being friends with women. Maybe we should do that sometime. I will never pay for male-on-male mentoring, Donovan Sharp, but I would pay for a teacher teaching me a skill I could take to an employer to earn a living. Chef Ramsay, Lord Spawn. There you go. You don't need to pay for this. You don't even need to pay. If you have 1/100th of a brain, you can fix your own damn car by YouTube. Unless you want to take it in because you don't have time to fix it. But the reality is you don't need to pay for this advice. And if there is a monetary value attached to this, watch out. Brad, does your daughter not talk to you? Do you help her out financially? No, I don't have a very good relationship with her. Her mother basically poisoned that. However, she did wish me a happy Father's Day, which blew me away. I don't really hear from her. It's really sad. But I've accepted it, and hopefully someday she comes around. But you never know. Mysterio, Leykis got married 4 times because he thought that he was the problem. Yes, there is a video he does on it. That sounds like her manipulating you. I don't know where that come from, Lord Spawn. I saw a sleuth on Fit and Fresh tell a guy to run from his single mom interest. They all know what single mom means. They would be all single moms if the pill and womb deletion weren't a thing. Absolutely. Well said. Long-necked, ice-cold beer never broke my heart. Diamond rings and football teams tore my heart apart. Is that Luke Combs? Tom Leykis married 4 times because he learned the hard way. Yeah, he talks about it. You guys have to check him out. What can we do as men? Withdraw everything. Work on ourselves. Be on purpose. Do the things that bring us joy and happiness. And never put anyone on a pedestal. Leykis is the man. 48-hour fasting is easy. 72 is tricky. Oh, you can get to it. I've done 96. Tom Leykis was vehemently anti-Trump. Not saying you got to love Trump, but something is wrong. I was very, yes, when he was anti-Trump. You know, some guys don't like Trump because he's a dick. Let's be real. I think Trump's great. Kept us out of a war. Kept our economy. All the shit that Biden got is because of Trump. Some people just don't like successful guys. People put down success. Remember, there's a song by Morrissey, we hate it when our friends become successful. I think people that have more success hate the guys that have lower success. I was MGTOW before it was an acronym. Good for you. Fasting requires insane self-discipline. It's easy once you begin. You got to start slow, 14 hours, then go to 15, then go to 16, and then get up. Once you hit 24, go 26. Once you do that, go 36. 36 is really, Mysterio, 36 is really the sweet spot for fasting. Check it out. I don't think you should go 48. Go 36. That gives you the best. I mean, 48 is wonderful, but you could, once you hit 36, you basically get the same benefits of a 48. I love Tom Leykis should be required for everyone aged 12 and up. 100%, Lisa. Every elderly who asks me if I was married yet, I say, not yet. They always say, smart man. Wonder if they're trying to be funny or speaking real. Every time I see a youngster couple get married, I just think to myself, it's only a matter of time until they go back to the courthouse. I saw 3 dudes pull up to a local ice cream shop in Lambos. I swear I was getting MGTOW vibes. At some point, money will equal being MGTOW. Don't flash the cash. Good thing. Never ever show anybody what you have. That is a true red pillar. Again, a guy that's flashy seeks external validation, which is a female attribute for the majority of them. Men, strong men do not need to show anybody anything except their confidence. How do you avoid catching feelings for a woman? Know what's beneath the makeup and the clothing. Actually, think about menopause. Brad, same here. My daughter and I are very distant. I'm okay with it. She's spitting image of her mother. I've already gone through the pain and the sadness. I raised her, my little baby girl. Someday she'll have to make the decision to accept her father in her life. I didn't leave her life. She left me. Her mother poisoned the watchers. She won't say she did, but she did. But I'm not going to blame. I'm not going to play the victim here. I'm allowing her female nature to be with her. And when she's ready, her father will open his arms up and welcome her back into his life. But I also do tough love. And it sucks, Benjamin. It sucks. Beer won't cheat on us. Get angry when we get a newer beer. No, it will not cheat on us. What's your go-to ZZ Top song? Legs. She got legs. Have a good one, brother. Don't give away your meat, money, energy, attention, time, fellas. You're 100% right about that. I'm a Red Hot Chili Pepper guy myself. Under the Bridge. I saw the Chili Peppers on their very first, what's their very first one? Is it Freaky Styley? Uplift Mofo Party Plan is not their first one, but I saw, remember Chili Peppers, Catholic Schoolgirls Rule? Catholic Schoolgirls Rule. Catholic Schoolgirls Rule. Uplift Mofo Party Plan is one of my favorite too. I'm checking out. Thank you, brother. Have a good one. See you later, too. To the Mr. Lord Spawn, what's beneath the makeup? Skeletor. There you go. I love Trump. He supported Brexit. Obama did not. Obama is a community organizer. If a young Canadian man is planning to move to the States, what state should he move to? A red state. Utah, Arizona. Well, Arizona is kind of turning into a blue state. Texas, Florida, a red state. Do not move to a blue state. I'm 35, never married, and want to meet a good woman for a LTR. Well, you need to vet them very carefully, my friend. The reality of you meeting a good woman is a 1% to 2%. And don't be bamboozled by words. Actions. You know the red flags: social media, baby daddy issues, tattoos, attention, lots of makeup. My favorite ZZ Top song, Every Girl's Crazy About a Sharp Dressed Man. There you go. They should be. Maybe Lisa Smith knows some women for Andrew Briggs that are like her. My coworker said he was in love. I laughed myself to death. Your coworker was experiencing chemicals that he would get if he ate a very nice bonsai burger from Red Robin. That's funny. I had a friend of mine I knew from school who wants to get me a girlfriend. I said, no, thank you. It's just he kept on insisting. Come on, Brian. She's a Nawalt. Don't move to California, Illinois, or New York, says MGTOW Cowboy. Stay away from any blue pill, liberal, socialist state. Utah has got a great economy. It's a red state. I doubt if this will ever be a blue state. I mean, Salt Lake's pretty blue and liberal to the hill, but the outer parts are great. Garcinia kombucha really helps us squash those hunger pains, making not eating during their effect quite easy. Take it every 12 hours, and the discipline part becomes fighting snack. You know what's interesting? When you started fasting, you start noticing the psychology of you not thinking about not having food. You start seeing advertisement. You start thinking about food. But once you get to the point where your hunger pains are just the parasites in your gut wanting to be fed, if you got fat on you, that's food. Fat is food. You ever see a fat guy starve? Nope. Winnipeg has no Red Robin. It's a shame, and no Sonics as well. I don't really go to Sonic. You know, I go to In-N-Out Burger down here. I like In-N-Out. Christian. It's a Christian. It's the Chick-fil-A of hamburgers, and it's delicious. I always get it animal style too, with light sauce. Sometimes I think they put too much sauce on it. But this has been great, guys. Remember, masculinity and men first. And don't forget to chase excellence. I'm out. Rebel against